All right, on to a breaking news development coming in which the Union Ministry of Home Affairs has now sought a report from the Bengal government after the ED team was attacked in Sondesh Khali area of North 24 Parganas. Remember, the ED team had gone for an investigation in connection with the ration scam, and they had gone there to question Trinamool leader Shahjahan Sheikh, and that's when a mob gathered and attacked the ED team, which was in fact accompanied by CRPF personnel. And yet the mob attack happened. We heard Governor of West Bengal taking a very clear position that constitutional scheme of things would kick in if the state does not take care of the law and order situation. And now we are getting to hear that the MHA, the Ministry of Home Affairs, has sought a report from Bengal government on the incident. It is clear that there is escalation building up. We had ED chief visiting Bengal and understanding what happened on the ground, and then met the governor. And now we have the MHA seeking a report from the Bengal government. We'll try and connect. We'll try and connect with Shawan Sen. In fact, Shawan is joining us over the phone. Shawan, the ED chief has been in Kolkata looking at the incident from the ground, what exactly happened. I believe there would have been some report coming in from the ED also to the Ministry of Home Affairs. And then, of course, the Bengal governor, with whom the ED chief also had a meeting. So you think the MHA action is coming in after some information had reached them about the exact nature of the law and order situation which led to the attack on the ED officials?
Well, in fact, a series of reports have already been exchanged between the Bengal unit of the Enforcement Directorate and the headquarters here in the national capital, in which they have basically detailed out the fact that there was a secret letter that was recovered by the CRPF from the main accused, Jyotipriya Malik, who is also a Trinamool Congress minister, from his possession. Now, it was in that letter, Abhishek, that a mention of Shahjahan Sheikh and Shankar Adya was made, and thereafter a decision was taken by the Enforcement Directorate to carry out searches. The initial planning was to carry out searches at 17 locations, which also looks into 3 locations linked to Shahjahan Sheikh. But what turned out there was a complete disaster. The very fact that the Enforcement Directorate, despite reaching out to Shahjahan, the Enforcement Directorate was completely blocked out, so much so that the CRPF personnel who were deployed along with the Enforcement Directorate to carry out the searches, at least 27 of them, came under complete threat of a mob that was gathered by Shahjahan Sheikh to begin with. So that is the reason why, remember, they have taken umbrage over this entire fact that at least 3 of their officers have sustained serious injuries to begin with. And secondly, they have been receiving treatment. That is the reason why a decision was taken by the current acting director of the Enforcement Directorate, Rahul Naveen, to actually travel to Kolkata, where I'm given to understand that this morning that he's also had a meeting with the special director who's based out of Kolkata. Along with him, the Zone 1 director was also present at the meeting. The Zone 2 director was also present at the meeting. And thereafter, they also visited the officers who were receiving treatment. As of now, what we do not know, Abhishek, whether at all the Directorate has come out with a full-fledged plan as to how exactly would they carry on with their investigation in the ration distribution scam. But what I understand from sources within the Enforcement Directorate, that the planning is still on, and they are certainly looking at continuing with the investigation, because they believe that from the searches that were carried out in the last few days, they have been able to gather more evidence, which suggests that it requires further investigation, something that they have also apprised the governor. They are certainly not hopeful that the West Bengal police will act on it, because despite having an FIR against Shahjahan Sheikh, no arrest has been taken so far. And even if there is an arrest, it is likely to be a sham arrest, primarily because the sections that have been invoked against Shahjahan by the West Bengal police are completely bailable offences.
If you're suggesting that these are bailable offences, Shawan, then my quick question is, by when you think that the ED could be finding Shahjahan Sheikh and arresting him?
Well, in fact, as far as the punitive action against Shah Jahan Sheikh is concerned, it is likely to take place provided they are in a position to actually trace Shah Jahan. As I understand from sources within the enforcement directorate, they've been completely clueless about the whereabouts of Shah Jahan Sheikh. They also suspect that there's some sort of a protection that has been granted to him. That is the reason why it perhaps is becoming far more difficult for them. Having said that, with the kind of evidence that they have gathered from the searches that they carried out previously, a punitive action against Shah Jahan Sheikh certainly cannot be ruled out.
All right. Thank you so much, Shawan, for joining us there. And